This is Kimberly Quinn, host of the Minecraft podcast, and I can't tell you how much fun I have had doing this podcast. I started when the world closed over the pandemic in an attempt to spread some positivity out there and give people some strategies to enhance their own well being and reduce anxiety and all of that. Now, 2 years later, we're still going strong and now listened to by 52 countries across the world. And I've even helped some of my students get going with their own podcasts. It's super easy to do. And I'll tell you, if you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it is the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. I'll just explain for you. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It is a ball. Start today. Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another Minecraft discussion on all things well-being. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I am here to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is to spend your life minutes as if they were cash. And obviously, we can't put a price on our life minutes. It's just the most valuable commodity, for lack of a better word, that we have. I mean, that's our lives. We can't even equate it with anything else. However, just for the purpose of example, if we attach, sometimes I say to my Minecraft students when I say I kind of hold up like a imaginary $100 bill, would you just light a match to this? They're like, heck no. Well, okay. Well, that again, you can't even really compare that to your life minutes yet. There was a heck no there. So then, would you waste any of your valuable life minutes? And they don't stop to realize. And I think a lot of us waste is the word, more of our life minutes than we're aware of. And one of the biggest ways, of course, is social media. I mean, there's no bigger time sucker, thief of life minutes than the internet. But that isn't the whole talk today. So stay tuned right here. So if we attach a price to it, I'm just thinking like somebody makes $60,000 a year. I think that's roughly 30 something per hour. Let's just say 35. Let's say it's 60 something per year. It's $35 an hour. Wasting 3 hours a day, just by being passive, not attenuating, just autopilot, even if you're not on the internet, right? That's 3 hours a day is $100 a day times 7 days a week. So $700 a week times 52 weeks a year, that's roughly $36,400 per year wasted. Making an analogy to life minutes, like, oh my gosh. And that again, that isn't dollars. That's our life. So really, the only way to save our valuable life minutes, I think about this. There might be a time when I want that 1 hour 57 back when I'm 90 or 100 or 110, skydiving or something. Not getting it. I don't think people get that, even if it's 10 minutes wasted spending with time with somebody out of obligation. And we're not saying we don't have to do things we don't want to do, because of course it's part of adulting, sometimes. However, we do a lot of it is in our control, and I don't think many people realize that. So, really, we've talked about this with various topics before. The first thing is awareness, right? We can't do what we don't know. We cannot do what we don't know. And then once we become aware, we become responsible. I can't take credit for that one. That was from my dear friend, Dr. Dave Landers. Once we become aware, we become responsible. And what we're talking about is making a life minutes budget. Making a life minutes budget. I used to call it, or I still do call it this sometimes, a shit giving budget. Because if you make two columns, things you give a shit about and things you don't, and then it's not just so polarized, you might give a shit a little bit, then there's giving like medium shits, and then there's like you give a huge shit about it. And that's where we need to focus our attention, but to let go of this stuff that we really just don't care about, don't need to do. So the first one is time creativity. And I came up with that because I don't even remember when exactly, but we talking about time management in Minecraft, and I watched them get this glazed look over their faces and I've tried to pay attention to that. because they just tune out because they've heard that well word phrase actually so many times that they just tune out. They don't have a positive association with it. It's just like, oh, structure my day, do more to my day where I have less control. And that's where the glazed look came from. Whereas if we talk about the first one being time creativity, this is about being create your own day. You are the artist of your life, the author of your own script. So kind of like paint your day on canvas. What do you want to what do you want it to look like? Picture having a bucket full of every color you want. Paint your day how you want it to look like in the morning. Sketch it out or on a whiteboard with beautiful, colorful markers in your mind. Okay, and next is actually to make the shit giving budget. We actually draw it out. I forgot I had this one here. Make it, actually map it out. Things I actually have to want to do versus the like middle-ish area, and then the things that just can go. And that leads to the third, number three here, is to create a not to-do list. And people often chuckle at me when I bring this up, and at conferences when I have it on a PowerPoint, they're leaning over the tables taking pictures of the slide of the not to-do list. And this means just that. I mean, we're so focused on our to-do list. Got to do this, got to do that, got to do this in case they show up and see everything we haven't done or whatever, whoever they is, I don't even know. And or also just have it in our head. I have to do this, I have to do that. In any given day, I challenge you to put a slash mark through one thing because there's absolutely one thing that can go. And I do this myself, and it is often because I'm on the go so much that I'm not always so planned with the grocery shopping, and I'm working on that still. I'll often think I'll just swing by after work, and it's already 7 o'clock at night, and so that's often the one that goes like, no, just make do. I'll figure it out. I got chicken in the freezer. I'll just throw it on the grill and come up with something creative with the veggies that are left over. That's just one example. But to get rid of something, there are emails you don't need to respond to today. Maybe not ever, but not today. Then there's some you don't need to respond to, period. And there are absolutely, obligations you just don't need to do. So create a not to do list. So hope you're seeing the thread here, because then the not to do list leads up to number four, which is to do something every single day that makes your heart sing. So if you create a not to do list, let's say you slash two things off, maybe even three, now you have time to go out to lunch with a colleague. The weather's getting nice now, or do a walking lunch by yourself. Maybe you don't get a lot of time to yourself, which is definitely true for me. And maybe you want to just go sit under a tree and just watch people walk by, or go someplace where you're out of Dodge from. I got a little place on campus where I go that's kind of around the corner from this nice building, and I just sit there, kind of palms up or fingertip to thumbs and just zen out looking at Lake Champlain in the Adirondacks. Because when you slash, put some slashes through things you don't really need or want to do, it opens up life minutes to be mindful, be with friends, whatever. And then number five is to unplug the drug. Social media is one of the biggest thieves of our life minutes that there could possibly be. It's just this black hole or a wormhole that just sucks one present moment after the other, just, never ever to be seen again. Number six is to, change your words. Words are so powerful. I know we say that and it sounds cliche and cheesy, but it's just so true. So instead of, oh, like all these have tos, oh, I have to give this presentation at work. Instead of that, maybe I'm excited to give this presentation at work. I'm excited. I'm excited to see people's reactions. I'm excited to talk about this important conversation that really needs to be discussed. I'm excited for people to see all the effort that I put in to this presentation. I'm excited rather than I have to. When we change our words to excited, looking forward to, whatever, or even just I want to, it gives us agency. It gives us control. It's empowering because it's something that we're taking the reins. Like, I want to do this. I'm excited to do this versus I have to, and I'm being, dragged across the pavement to do something. And of course, I lost track. I think it's number seven now. Peel your onion layers back. I did a whole little video on this a while back, and can sound cold and callous, and it isn't. It's just efficient budgeting, right? Just like money with your life minutes. And it goes with the not to do list, sort of. And when we're talking about people, because we can become very conditioned, we're very conditioned creatures, as human beings, and we can get locked into spending money. I mean, spending our life minutes. That's my comparison. So I got locked into that, spending our life minutes with people that just don't bring us joy anymore. And we're not talking about evil demons or anything like that. Just we might do this every month thing, or this every, or just spending time with people that just doesn't do it for us. And you don't have to do that, or wasting a perfectly good Sunday afternoon to be at a fourth cousin 17 times removed, you know, daughter's baby shower. Well, it doesn't mean you send her a present, because remember, we are sacrifice. If we're on the back deck with a lemonade and a beautiful view, or with a friend doing something fun, or with a partner doing something fun, or your kids, you're swapping out. Or if you have, gosh, you have time by yourself, which I know a lot of us don't get these very much of these days. You're going to swap that out to go make small talk somewhere, and especially if you have to drive a distance or something. I mean, to swap all that genuine, authentic rest and R&R, as they say, with yourself or somebody that you really want to spend time with, to swap out to go make small talk and da 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 da, and it's just dumb. Send her a present, send her a check. Done. And the last one is definitely do not put off your dreams. And something that's just your heart's desire when it doesn't stop. Like as Oprah says, listen to the whispers, and that can also be, stuff we need to change that aren't working for us. Don't like to lean into to better habits and stuff. But I'm talking about, if it's your life's dream to go to Ireland, and let's say finances are a thing, what you can do is start a fund, and you can put pictures of Ireland up in your house or apartment, and at least what you're not putting off is the plan for it, and get a rock solid plan to do it, even if you don't have the finances. And it just, whatever your dream is, listen to that, because this is not, as far as any of us know, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is the big game. This is it. And definitely don't put it off. And on a smaller level, if you just, dying to try some new kind of food, some new kind of, whatever it is, oh my gosh, just do it. You want the new pair of shoes? Do it. Do it. Absolutely, just plain do it. Your life minutes are just plain too valuable and precious, which means you are valuable and precious. Spend your life minutes as if they are cash. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the very windy northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.